This week, the House Intelligence Committee released their Benghazi report, and if we lived in anything other than an insane world, it would certainly serve as the final nail in the coffin for every Benghazi conspiracy theory haunting the darkest and most ignorant corners of the internet and Fox News. Unfortunately, we don't live in that world, so it probably will not do that. But we do have a number of interesting findings from the report. Now, bear in mind, as we go to these findings, this is the Republican-led House, House Intelligence Committee. But first, you have one of the findings you want to focus on.
Well, John's going to go over some specifics here, and he should. But this is key because this is also how this is getting played in the mainstream media. First of all, the headline in the Associated Press: House Intel panel debunks many Benghazi theories. It's not a very fancy headline, but it is a straightforward, good headline. Here's paragraph 2. Debunking a series of persistent allegations hinting at dark conspiracies, the investigation of the politically charged incident determined there was no intelligence failure, no delay in sending a CIA rescue team, no missed opportunity for a military rescue, and no evidence the CIA was covertly shipping arms from Libya to Syria.
Yeah.
So just like that's a good sign that we got sort of mainstream media coverage of this saying, hey, no. Yeah, they changed the talking points.
Yeah. No, and even that, there's some nuance to that as well, which we'll get to.
You're right, yeah.
And yeah, it's great that the media is covering it, but man, it's a small amount of coverage compared to Chuck Hagel, compared to Kim Kardashian's ass. It's a very small amount of coverage.
It's all about to get drowned out by Ferguson.
No, I'm just saying I'm glad that it was a Republican committee that found this.
Exactly.
And hopefully we're done with it, but of course we're not.
Probably not. So I'm going to start to burn through some of these findings. If you guys want to jump in and respond to any of the particular ones, feel free. First listed as finding number 1, there's no evidence of an intelligence failure. Prior to the Benghazi attacks, the CIA provided sufficient strategic warning of the deteriorating threat environment to U.S. decision makers, including those at the State Department. Finding number 2, CIA provided sufficient security personnel, resources, and equipment to defend against the known terrorist threat, and there is no evidence that the CIA turned down requests for additional security resources at the annex. Finding number 4, which Ben mentioned, the CIA was not collecting and shipping arms from Libya to Syria. I had forgotten about that conspiracy theory, actually, but it was not true. Finding number 9, the Tripoli team's decision not to move to the hospital to retrieve Ambassador Stevens was based on the best intelligence at the time. That's a very significant one right there. They were trying to imply that we had just left people behind willy-nilly. That is not the case. Finding number 10, the CIA received all military support that was available. Neither the CIA nor the DoD denied requests for air support. There was no stand-down order. There was no requests for assistance that did not go responded to. They got all of the support that was available at the time. Finding number 15, CIA did not intimidate or prevent any officer from speaking to Congress or otherwise telling his story, which is of course significant because one of the things underlying the continuation of these conspiracy theories is the idea that the CIA, the executive branch of our government, has shut down any criticism of what actually happened or any second guessing of the story that's been put out there. That has not been the case, actually. There was no attempt to shut down discussion.
And then findings 11, 12, and 13 were related to where they dropped the hammer, the very lightweight hammer on the administration and the national security team. UN Ambassador Rice's September 16th public statement about the existence of a protest, as well as some of the underlying intelligence reports, proved to be inaccurate.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Although, again, they point out that generally people say that they changed the talking points like immediately after that, but they point out in the report that they changed the talking points based on the September 18th video that was released. They actually changed it based on new information, not on sort of a changing political calculus.
Finding number 12, Deputy CIA Director Michael Morrell made significant changes to the talking points. Finding number 13, CIA's Office of Public Affairs also made substantive changes to the talking points by removing the reference to ties to Al-Qaeda in the second bullet of the original draft.
As new information came out.
And also, like that stuff we knew.
Exactly,
because we saw before and after. So again, and it doesn't, but there's nothing to that. There's no,
There's no in an attempt to hide the truth about Benghazi. And if they had found that, you don't think that they would have included it in the report?
And the truth came out like 4 days later. Right. So it's, anyway, so naturally, even those on the Senate side have realized, oh, well, I guess that's it. Well done.
Yeah, for the most part, perhaps, but not entirely. So Lindsey Graham is not particularly happy about the House GOP intelligence report on Benghazi. Here are his remarks.
It says, first, no outright intelligence failure. Second, no delay in attempts to rescue Benghazi staff. Third, those famous Susan Rice talking points were inaccurate but not deliberately misleading. The report says the misinformation was flawed, yes, but no political cover-up by Susan Rice or anyone else. So, does this exonerate the administration?
In my view, Trey Gowdy and Elijah Cummings are doing a good job looking at Benghazi as a whole. DOD, the intel community,
but yes or no,
and
Senator
the State
Graham?
Department. It's one year. No. I think the report's full of crap.
Full of crap. Okay, but he does actually go farther than that. Here's continuing criticism of the House Intelligence Committee from Lindsey Graham.
So you're saying the intel community is lying to the House Intelligence Committee. The administration's not exonerated.
No, I'm saying the House Intelligence. No, I'm saying the House Intelligence Committee is doing a lousy job policing their own. I'm saying that anybody who's followed Benghazi at all knows that the CIA deputy director did not come forward to tell Congress what role he played in changing the talking points. And
this report says no one lied, period. That they were receiving bad information, but no, or
that's a bunch of garbage. That's a complete bunch of garbage.
So why is the
Who
Republican
told Susan Rice?
Why is the Republican chairman of the House Intelligence Committee buying a bunch of garbage?
Good question.
Answer it. Yeah.
Why? That's it. Yeah, I don't believe that the report is accurate, given the role that Mike Morrell played in misleading the Congress on 2 occasions.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, also, this is a guy who,
I'm embarrassed for him.
I know. Yeah.
Dude, just shut up.
It's sad.
Also, even if
he's not always this crazy.
Even if Mike Morrell, just the consistency, the hypocrisy from these guys is so staggering sometimes. Even if Mike Morrell, let's say, even though, again, the Republicans in the House, they are literally the craziest legislatures outside of North Korea. No offense.
Possibly like the Georgia state legislature.
Right. I mean, so these guys.
That's a good point.
They
have a legislature?
I'm offended.
They have a legislature there? Anyway.
That these guys didn't take advantage of an opportunity to hammer the administration
it's ridiculous.
It's absurd. And then for Lindsey Graham to get up there, so they found that Mike Morrell did nothing other than change the talking points, right? So for him then to suggest that somehow he's outraged because somebody lied to Congress, this is a guy who's had almost everyone on Wall Street come before him and lie to Congress, and then had oil executives and energy executives come up before Congress, and because they knew they were going to lie, Dick Cheney made sure, well, don't swear my friends in, right? So I'm going to permit them to lie. He didn't care. He didn't care then. It made no difference to him. But here he's going to, and apparently I guess he's going to continue to talk about it right into 2016. And the great thing is that even now they're not recognizing, they've just been defeated politically on this.
Yeah.
It's over. So now the more they talk about it, now it's just good. Now it's just
now they'll start to look like clowns.
So they're going to continue to do it. And every second they mention it, every day they mention it, is a day wasted and another moment where they are not offering any sort of leadership at all and direction for the country. At all. So
On anything.
have at it, hosses.